I'm going to keep this a little bit more succinct than some of my other little talks, because Karen tells me I ramble. She's my reality check in so many areas of life and always has been, sometimes more successfully than others. So, without any further delay or rambling, I want to talk briefly today about employers. What's in it for employers? All this talk about corporate social enterprise and tech taking over, where humans have underperformed and so on in social enterprise, is all very well, but what's in it for employers? And actually the answer is quite a lot. By allowing people to work where they choose, as I'm doing now, a lot of our meetings are carried out on the hoof. We walk the hills. This is a hill belonging to my great friend Dave Hawking at Manor Farm, Upton Cheney. I recommend it for weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, feasts and festivals. Plug done. We work in the places we love. We work with the people we love. We do the work we love, wearing the clothes we love, on the terms we love. I was always accused by my mother of being a very selfish little boy, but actually, you know what, so long as I'm not harming other people, my view then and now has always been, why wouldn't I do precisely that? Because people seem to perform better when they're doing what they love, with whom they love, where they love, wearing what they love, on the terms they love. It's now an employee's market. Apparently in the US and possibly in Europe, research has just come in recently, there are more jobs seeking hires, employees, than there are potential employees coming out of schools and colleges. So it's an employee's market, and employers are having to look to their laurels in order to get the best talent, stimulate and inspire and keep and develop the best talent. And one way to do this, and we have plenty of evidence to back this up, is to get them involved in projects which have what they want. So what do they want? First piece of research I would quote is the work done several years ago and more recently updated by our colleague at Bath University School of Management, Dr. Bruce Rayton, whose work on employee engagement demonstrated that first quartile for engaged employees versus fourth quartile in the same area, you're looking at typically order of magnitude double the net profits, 2.5 times the revenue growth rates, and 20 times the innovation rates. All the new products and services, particularly in tech and data-driven innovations, are coming from those employees who are inspired and proactive in innovating. 20 times as much as their disengaged counterparts in other organizations. And the four key criteria Bruce identified with his colleagues and those in senior leadership roles, particularly in HR, with whom he worked from industry. The four key drivers are identified by the research. You can find this, by the way, online if you go to Engage for Success and search for the document named The Evidence. It tells you, it gives enormous amount of evidence for this position, which is that engaged employees perform really well. The four drivers, as you'll find when you go there, of engaged employees are: A, strategic narrative. What is this organization for? Why does it exist? If it only exists to further enrich the already rich individuals and institutions of the world, then why would a prospective employee go to that organization rather than another one which offers something more attractive? These bright, capable, talented young people and middle management and senior management people can more or less command the salary they wish, so why would they go to your organization and not your competitor's organization? And we're finding some good reasons why they would. So what does this company exist for? Strategic narrative. 2, What's my relationship with my line manager? Does my line manager see me as a human resource or a human being? Third, employee voice. Am I heard? If I have ideas, if I have suggestions, if I have doubts, if I have concerns, am I able to voice them, and are they heard, and are they acted upon in dialogue, in collaboration with myself and others? And finally, you guessed it, meaning and purpose. Bruce articulates this as say-do gap. Is there a gap between what this organisation says and what it does? And employees, of course, are better placed to know the answer to that question than anybody else. So the other piece of another piece of research I want to touch on is that which was done by Dan Pink's team prior to the publication of his great book Drive, again some years ago, but it still seems to hold true. He identified that money does indeed, of course, motivate, especially when you are short of it. You know, those who are short of money, and in some cases it's literally life or death. We've worked in areas where that is actually the case, and of course it matters massively. Maslow's hierarchy of needs demonstrates that survival, of course, is the first criterion for success, and then after that other values begin to take over, up to and including self-realization. So self-actualization is the term I think he uses. So Dan Pink, I met Dan Pink when he was just launching that particular book, Drive, and he identified, and his team of researchers identified, three powerful motivating forces that inspire and activate passion, productivity, and performance in people more than money. And they are autonomy. I get to do what I wish, where I wish, with whom I wish, on the terms I wish for, as we've said. Mastery, I'm becoming a better person, I'm learning more skills, both professionally and in terms of human evolution as an individual and as part of a family and as part of a community and as part of an organisation, part of a sector and so on. I'm evolving, we're co-evolving in a mutually supportive network or ecosystem of people, in a bigger ecosystem which we wish not to harm, indeed we wish to repair where possible and prevent future harm, which is rather the point of all of this. And then finally purpose, again, meaning, purpose, why? Is there something which I feel makes this a vocational or avocational undertaking rather than merely the means by which I survive. So that's another really important piece of research. And finally, I want to mention a third piece of research just in. As many of you may know, Deloitte produce what they call the Millennial Survey every year, and the 2018 Millennial Survey results are in. And guess what? Millennials are saying we want meaning and purpose in addition to money. We can command the money we want and grow within reason the rate at which we earn more money. So again, why would we go to your organisation rather than your competitor's organisation? Our answer is we want meaning, we want purpose. And the other thing that the Deloitte's research seems to be demonstrating, and by all means go Google Deloitte's Millennials Survey 2018 and you'll see the detail on this. Young, bright people coming out of schools and colleges now don't just want meaning and purpose as well as money. They want plenty of all of that, quite rightly so. They also want mentoring. They want life skills. They recognise that while they're often very technically capable and very intellectually capable, they may lack the life skills that enable them to, again, engage as successful parents, engage with their communities in meaningful ways, which mean they give and receive optimally as members of communities. Maybe they want to carry out voluntary work in their own time, away from work. How do they learn what's most appropriate and what will be most productive of useful change in deploying that passion and productivity and professional skills in that area of their lives? How do they help to make their organisation as a whole, their employer organisation, a more authentic, organisation without a say-do gap, as Dr. Bruce Rayton's research suggested is in everyone's best interest. So these are the issues that we explore in Bloomfield groups at Bloomfield House, which is just not quite a stone's throw, but near here. And we do a lot of our walking, talking, and solvitur ambulando, as the Romans used to say. It shall be solved by walking in places like this. And there's plenty more on the website that explains what it is we do in all these different areas and how these different Bloomfield groups can help people to explore these topics and activate their passions and their productivity and professional ambitions in these fields. So look around the site, let us know what you like, and let us know what you'd like to do with what you like. Bye.